All right, this is the part 3 of the linear transformations or transformation of the parent function. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to take our x and y. We're going to take our parent function. All right, that's this guy right here. Remember, it's f of x equals x. All right, and so what we're doing is we're going to we're going to describe what's happening. So this is the actual example of the transformation. All right, and so you kind of have to remember that you have a number outside the parentheses, a number inside the parentheses, and you have a multiplier. So we have something that looks like this. We have something that looks like this. Actually, I'll say, I should give it to you right. And then we actually have something that looks like this. And we discussed this all in the other videos. And all these mean something. Alright, this one controls the steepness. Alright, so that tells me if it's the steepness, if it's more or less steep. Alright, depends on whether. This one tells me how it shifts left or right, and this one tells me how it shifts up or down. Alright, so here we go. So here's the thing. So I want a list of everything that happens. So let's look at the 3. It's outside the parentheses. So it's greater than 1, so it's more steep. Alright, so we know the graph is more steep. Alright, so if I know this, then I know it's going to be going up a little higher. So we're going to say we know it's more steep, and remember the number is outside the parentheses, so we got to say vertical. So this is, think of the line. What would make this graph, if we're touching the vertical axis, what do we do to the vertical axis to make it more steep? We stretch it. So we're going to say vertically stretched. Because it's going to get bigger, which means more steep. Alright, there's a number inside the parentheses. It's negative. Remember, inside means it shifts left or right. Because it's negative, we go the opposite direction, so it shifts horizontally right 2 units. Alright? And then the one outside tells us if it goes up or down, and since it's positive, it's the one that's alright. The one inside is the only one that's opposite. So since it's a plus 4, we shift vertically up, vertically 4 units, or you could say up 4 units. So it's the same thing. Alright, and that's what it is. Now, what would this kind of look like if I was to redraw it? Alright, so let's try. I'm going to try to do this. So I know that it's going to be more steep. I know instead of 0, it's going to be at 4. So we're going to pretend that this is 4 right here. Alright, and we know that it's less steep, and we know it's shifted. Alright, so if it shifts, it should look something, and like I said, I am like really kind of working on this. If it's 2, that means it's here, and so that means it should be something like this if I get this right. So like our 2 is here now because we're shifting 2. Now remember, if we're going to the right 2 and going up 2, my origin, where it's touching, is going to be right here. This is where it's shifting. I'm trying to get a dot there. So that's where how the origin moved. It moved 2 to the right and up 4. That's the origin. And remember, it's a little bit more steep, and so it's going to, hopefully I can draw this right. I know I probably don't have it drawn correctly at all, but I'm going to try to draw it pretty close. So it should look something like that. Alright, see, alright, so that's the way it should look. But the thing is always it's vertically stretched, so it's gotten more steep. It's shifted from 0 to the right, and I didn't put it on 2 exactly because I just don't have the measurements to do it right. So this should be 2, move it over 2 units right here, not here. Alright, and then it goes up 4 units, so that should be right about there. Alright, so let's try another one. Alright, in this case, what do you think's happened? Alright, so it's got a negative, so that means instead of a line going up. So I'll draw one right here. So here we go. This is X, this is Y. My parent function looks like this. All right, so there's my parent function. I'll do purple for the, or blue in the other one. Since it's a negative, that means my line will be going down. All right. It's a half, so it's less steep. That means inside here, that means I'm going to go this way 2, and then I'm going to go down 3. And so this kind of tells me what I'm going to do. So here we go. The number is still outside the parentheses, so that means it's vertical again. So it's vertically, and the number's getting it's getting flatter. So that means, what do I do vertically to make it flatter? I vertically compress. That means I push down on this, on the y-axis. I shift which way? Left 2 units, because you always want to make this 0. So what do I put in for x to make it 0? -2. So you go left 2. All right, and the other one on the outside, remember, isn't the opposite. We just go down, or shift down, or vertically 3 units. All right, and it's also inverse. So I mean, it's going to look a little bit different. So let's say over 2. Down 3, and so I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of estimating. It's a negative, so it could shift. It could look, and it's less steep, so it could look something like this. It could, depending on how we did it. So there we go.